right, we're going to start kicking this off. So thank you everyone for joining KayaPush and Icon Savings for our webinar, Planting the Right Roots, Smart Retirement, Happy Teams. I'm Maria, your host, and I'm also joined here with Cherish from Icon. We're going to be hearing from Yonel, our Director of Partnerships here at KayaPush, as well as John, the Head of Sales at Icon Savings. Got a really great discussion for you today, so just sit back, relax, and learn about employee retention, retirement mandates, and so much more. If you have any questions, please submit them below and we'll answer at the end. So I'm going to pass things over to Yonel to kick us off.
Thanks, Maria. Hi, everyone. My name is Yonel, and I am super excited to be part of this webinar. It's going to be highly impactful. We'll get started. But a little bit about me. I spearhead the partnerships division for KayaPush, and we are all about empowering our customers. So let's get started. So real quick, what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about why a strong people strategy pays off. What's the benefits of offering a retirement plan? How do you navigate state mandates, which is a huge topic? And how do you simplify retirement benefits with PRP? And then at the end, we're going to go through some questions and answers. So let's talk about why people strategy is your competitive edge. Let's be blunt. Great weed needs great people. And in the cannabis space where turnover is high and compliance is a beast, your people strategy it's not just HR, it's your secret weapon. Today, I'm going to share I'm going to share with you how strong people strategy backed by benefits and badass tech can help you attract talent, reduce churn, and boost your bottom line. So let's talk about the next slide. Let's talk about the cost of high turnover. Okay, I'm sure many of you guys know this, but the cannabis, honestly, it sees some of the highest turnover in retail. Every new hire costs you in lost productivity, retraining, and compliance risk. Some estimates say that it's up to 30% of the role. I mean, straight up, that's about $10,000 per butt tender. I want to share some stats. Some of you may have already heard of this, but 30% of employees leave their employer within the first 2 months of being hired. 55% leave on an annual basis. For retail, that is extremely high. But here's the kicker. Most of this is preventable with the right culture, benefits, and systems. So let's talk about employee experience and retention. Actually, let's talk about that. Employee experience. The more you focus on the type of experience you give your employees, you're going to keep them. They're going to stay with you. And at the end of the day, that means that you're saving more money there. Happy teams are productive teams. And with better systems, you reduce burnout, boost loyalty. I mean, think of benefits not as a cost, but as an investment that saves you money long term. So when we talk about what top talent wants, attracting top talent, you want to keep your top butt tenders and trimmers. Show them that they matter. And that starts with quick onboarding, transparent scheduling, timely pay, and meaningful benefits like retirement savings. I mean, put yourself in your employee's shoes. What do they really want? What would help them feel confident in their decision to stay with you? These are things that as an employer, you should be thinking about all the time. I think, yeah, now we're going to talk about, so let's talk about KayaPush. KayaPush is the only fully integrated cannabis-specific platform that combines scheduling, payroll, time tracking, onboarding, and HR in one place. We integrate directly with your cannabis POS to automate scheduling, payroll, which at the end of the day, this is going to save you money on labor. We just spoke about this in terms of like how much labor is going to cost you. This is a massive value add. It's not just about payroll. It's about giving your people the best experience from day one while you stay compliant and save hours weekly. The one thing that I want to leave you with is I want to leave you with one of my favorite quotes from John Maxwell. He says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think like when you're thinking about how to cultivate culture, how do you keep your talent? How do you help your employees feel valued? It's the first thing that you got to think about. You got to think about put yourself in your employees' shoes What do they need? What do they want? And how are they going to feel valued? The more they feel valued, you're going to keep them. And with that, I'll pass it back on to Maria.
Um, Thank you so much, Yonel. Those turnover stats are really shocking every time I hear them. So now I'm gonna hand it over to John from Icon Savings.
Hey, Maria, thank you for having us, and thank you, Yonel, as well. Really excited about this partnership and to meet everybody here today. My name is John Whiteside, and I lead sales for Icon. Most of our team is located in the Denver area, and a little bit on my background. I've been in HR software for about a decade now, coming up on close to 4 years here at Icon. We have built something totally new in the retirement space, and we didn't build it exclusively for cannabis, but it absolutely has taken off there. So excited to dive in a little bit more on how we can bring this new type of benefit down to the cannabis space. So. First, let's talk about why offer that retirement benefit. Businesses that offer a retirement benefit often see 100% reduction in churn. So half the people will actually stay longer. It's the number one benefit traditionally asked for after health care and health insurance. It also can help you stay competitive in a tough job market. I know we talked a little bit about the state mandates, and we'll jump into that later. But really, adding a retirement benefit allows you to offer a top tier benefit in an industry where it's not normally offered. We are helping all sorts of companies like restaurants, construction, and cannabis organizations to offer this new retirement benefit and help them keep their employees there. They're not getting that phone call into HR saying, "Hey, I got a new opportunity for a couple more bucks more per hour," or "Hey, I got extra benefits up the street, so I'm actually gonna be leaving." You're able to offer that in-house, and we'll jump into why that's so important here in a few slides. So.
But first, we're gonna hop into a quick poll. Do you currently offer a retirement benefit? You should see in a few seconds a pop-up, and we'll just take a minute here for you to submit your answer. So yes, you offer a 401k, you offer a PRP, a state IRA, or other, or maybe you don't offer one yet, but this is a great time to learn a little bit more about the benefits of it. Just a few more seconds. All right. Cool. So we have some folks who offer PRP and some that don't offer anything quite yet.
Awesome. Thanks, Cherish. Let's take a second to talk about the state mandates. The retirement crisis in across the United States has gotten so bad that states are actually now requiring organizations to offer a retirement plan. This really hinges on a very powerful stat, which talks about how employees are 15 times more likely, actually, individuals are 15 times more likely to save in a retirement plan if it's offered through their employer. And this also hinges on the fact that you can create a habit at the beginning of the year, sign up for a benefit, and have recurring contributions out of future paychecks. That's why it's so important that we partner up with Kaya and other great payroll software services that are providing to the cannabis space. This has a great map here that's highlighting specifically the different states across the country that are offering that have mandates, right? And so California was the first. Illinois, Colorado, New York's actually going live at the end of the year, and there's 14 states that have active legislation. And so what that mandate normally looks like is that a company has to offer a plan based on how many employees that they have and how long they've been in business. So California at the end of the year, if you have one or more employees, will need to offer a retirement plan. Jump to the next slide. Awesome. So to meet those mandates, you have a couple of different options of types of plans you can roll with. There's a state IRA. In Colorado here, it's called Colorado Secure Saves. In California, it's called Cal Savers. And these are plans that are offered by the state. They are IRA-based plans and use a Roth IRA at the base, and it's an option. It doesn't cost the employer anything, but it does require quite a bit of administrative work to manage and run. Employees have to deal directly with the state, and they actually push the entire cost of the retirement program onto the individual savers of the plan. It's a great idea in theory, and a lot of companies are actually jumping in to use this. Icon has created something totally new in the retirement space. We also use an IRA at the base of our plan. We have traditional and Roth. We're a private organization that is helping companies across multiple states across the entire country to actually offer a retirement plan. And then we have also the 401k plan. 401k was created back in the late 1970s. It was created as a supplement to the pension system and was really designed for organizations that have a lot of employees that make a lot of money and have not fit the bill for the average company that especially is hiring hourly workers. And so we can jump into that a little bit more later. But Icon also covers those part-time W-2 and 1099 workers. Awesome. So the penalties vary by state. California leads the way. It's $250 per employee after 90 days if you don't have a plan. There's an additional $500 fine per employee for non-compliance after 180 days. As Yonel said, compliance is everything in the cannabis space. And so offering, you can have some serious fees here if you don't offer a plan. And so Icon is helping companies all across the country to make sure that they're not getting hit with these fees. So. And then I think we jump into another poll here.
Yeah, one more polling question. And it's okay if you don't know, but here's one place we'll start. Do you currently have a W-2 employee and an active state mandate? Yes, no, or I'm not quite sure. We'll take just about a minute for your responses. All right. Do we have those answers in? Little bit of a no, but great opportunity to learn about what might be coming. There's pending legislation across the country, and maybe you do and just aren't sure.
Awesome. So the PRP stands for Portable Retirement Plan. It's a new type of plan that we created about 5 years ago. So we've had the product in market for coming up on 4 years now, and it was designed to fit the needs of businesses that have been left behind by the 401k plan. A 401k is a federally regulated product by the Department of Labor and a body called ERISA. And it is a great idea in theory, but it adds a lot of complexity and cost, which makes it difficult for businesses to offer plans. The portable retirement plan combines some of the best features of a 401k with that flexibility of an IRA. So for the company, when they want to offer a retirement plan, they would sign up for Icon, invite employees right through Kaya or your payroll provider, and then employees get to opt into the plan. They can select traditional or Roth, which is a pre or a post-tax vehicle. And then every single week that they are paid, they actually get to select how many dollars they'd like to contribute and automatically start that saving habit. The portable retirement plan also will actually stay with the employee. So there's no more need for rollovers. You also don't need to do any matching requirements. That can be very expensive for businesses if you have to do required matching to pass some testing for the 401k industry. And yes, we've talked a lot about mandates today, but really, as Yonel said at the very beginning of the presentation, offering that retirement benefit is designed to help you attract the best talent. And so you can put that on your job descriptions when you're hiring and then retain your current team members. So excited to share more. The retirement plan industry does not have to be as complex as it currently stands today. And so that's what we've set out to accomplish. We will automatically sync up with your payroll system. Employees, if they do decide to leave the organization, they keep that retirement plan with them. It doesn't stay attached to the company. You also don't have to do any federal filings or take on any fiduciary burden. Fiduciary burden is something that comes with a 401k plan where the owner of the business and whoever's signing up for that plan is actually taking on that risk for the business. They are being responsible for the quality of the investments and the fees in there. ICON takes that off of your plate, and we are the fiduciary to all employees that sign up with us. And we also are making recommended portfolios for each of the employees. We'll recommend which one's best for them and how much they should save per paycheck. Employers pay a flat monthly fee based on the size of the organization. And I'd also like to share that across doing this for 4 years, this is a new product we've entered into the market. Over 80% of our savers have never saved in retirement before. So if you're thinking, oh, my folks are barely paycheck to paycheck, they're not going to save in a retirement plan. That is exactly how they probably think about it too. And so we lead with education. We're reaching a whole segment of the country that needs to start saving for retirement, does not understand it, does not know how. And so that's where we start. And so as part of onboarding, we educate every employee about what is a tax advantaged account, what are investments, stock bonds, all the pieces there that comes with setting up the right retirement strategy. I also do like to highlight that we can cover 1099 workers. So if you do have part of your business that are 1099ers and contractors, we can cover them. And then we also are recommending to employees that they also save in flat dollars. So we found that that is much easier for them to understand, especially if they're making an hourly wage. We'll recommend, $25 or $30 per paycheck to go into that retirement account. So great. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. We've got some time for some questions if anybody has any.
Yes, please submit your questions below. And we're going to start reading them out. So I have one here. Looks like an open-ended for John or Yonel. So they said, if our goal is to build long-term employee trust, what other benefits should they have to complement a retirement plan?
That's a good question. John, you want to go for that one?
Yeah, I think when we talked with cannabis agencies, as I mentioned earlier, health insurance is a #1 benefit to take a look at. I think it really rounds out your people strategy. It also, as companies are becoming more effective and growing, it's actually being, I think, expected. So that's definitely something to look into. Getting a little bit more chatter if you don't offer PTO, offering some sort of a PTO policy, that is definitely another benefit that we're hearing across our client bases.
Awesome. This next question is for Yonel. So how do we see retirement benefits fitting into a broader strategy for retaining our talent?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think, first of all, I don't think a lot of entrepreneurs in the industry are thinking about that. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are really focused on the logistics based on some of the conversations I personally have when I'm out at different events. So going back to the stat that we talked about earlier with recognizing that like 30% of your staff are going to leave within the first year, 55% of them are going to leave within the year. How are you going to change that formula? And I think employees are looking for more than just how much you're going to pay them. Employees are looking for a reason to stay. And a lot of employees are some employees are probably new to the cannabis space and looking to actually grow a career in that. And they're looking for a path on how they're going to do that. But part of that is they're also looking at what's in it for me at the end of the day. Employees are always looking at what's in it for me. And if you can offer a retirement plan, they're not just you're not just competing with other dispensaries. You're competing against Starbucks, Walmart's, McDonald's, other retail chains that already offer this. So if you want to be competitive in the landscape and attract talent that's going to stay with you, then looking at a retirement plan is, for me, I think essential.
Yeah. To add to that, we have had some clients that have actually rolled out incentive-based matching programs. And so some dispensaries that we'll work with will have multiple locations. And when certain locations hit their goal or the #1, they actually will unlock additional dollars that go to those employees that put in the extra work. And so we can do some really creative pieces to help you drive your business forward, keep people motivated. And then also, instead of paying out cash bonuses where employees will go and spend those dollars, it's going into an asset that will grow over time, and they're saving towards retirement as they keep building their careers.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're talking about that because that actually, it just, I guess the word structure came into my mind. And I think there's a lack of structure in the industry, and employees are looking for structure. And so, yeah, like John, to your point, like you offer something that competitive, not just competitive, but that is over and above and beyond. People are going to see value in that.
Awesome. Um, so this one, it looks like it's probably for John. So what's your advice to me when I want to roll out retirement for the first time?
Yeah, speaking to an employer for rolling out a retirement plan, or speaking to an employee that wants to roll a plan over. I can
It
do
sounds
both.
like it's probably a dispensary owner wanting to
Okay.
implement it.
Yeah. So we've got an onboarding team here, and the first thing that we're going to do is, if you are interested in rolling out a plan, is we'll start by getting you set up with the Icon product. You actually will create your account. You'll meet with your dedicated account and onboarding manager here at Icon. We will actually we want to learn how you're communicating with your team. Do you host weekly Zoom meetings where everybody logs into if they're not on shift? Is that something that's recorded? Do we want to start with an email communication announcing the plan and then offer an educational seminar? We have QR codes where we can put up in the break rooms where people can like click in with that on their phone to learn and watch a 1 minute video. Some of our favorite launches are where we get really creative with the ownership team or leadership team because they are most often trusted by their employees. And so we can do a fireside chat, quick 5 minute video like this, where we record why this is important, what it looks like, how you get started, where you find information. And it really, like, trying to match how you communicate to your employees has been very successful for us to get a higher adoption. So
Awesome. I love that. This one looks like maybe it's for Yonel. So what are some underrated tactics I can use to build long-term employee loyalty?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I think one of them actually is really simple, is just having one-on-ones with your teams. I think a lot of times it's so easy to get busy with the day-to-day on what needs to happen. And we expect our employees to come in giving it 100%, and we forget that life happens, right? And I think it's really important to just have moments weekly, or every 2 weeks where you're just connecting with your staff, whether it's a 15 to 30-minute meeting, because people want to feel seen and heard, right? And I think it's also measuring them on like, hey, these are the goals, helping them attain their goals so that they feel like they're winning as they're working with you. But at the same time, I think it's also important to recognize it's an opportunity to like help build a relationship with that employee so that they don't feel just like a number, that maybe you're asking questions about their personal life and just seeing, hey, Stacy had a great month last month, but this month her sales suck. How come? And then you find out maybe, oh, her dog passed away or something like that. So now it gives you an opportunity to be sympathetic and just kind of be there for them. And it kind of goes back to that quote that I talked about. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I think something as simple as that would be a huge benefit.
That's great advice, Yonel. Thanks for sharing. Okay, this one looks like it's for John. So they said, I love my bud tenders, but how do I get my younger team interested in investing in retirement?
we haven't talked about the most, I think it was Warren Buffett that talked about the most powerful force in the universe, which is compound interest. And so on those webinars that we'll film with the owners, we'll talk about the power of what $1 can become over years of time with investing and how it compounds, and really dive into those graphs. Cherish and the marketing team here at Icon have built a really cool sliding calculator where they can say, if I put in $100, what does that become in 10 years? And that has a really strong connection there of actually seeing your money work for you. I think also one thing, Maria, is we filmed like TikTok style 1 minute videos. We're not talking about 5 minute videos to watch. It's like, hey, we're going to send out this one. And we also, a lot of our clients will use texting platforms to communicate to their customers. And so our customer success team actually will provide just a Microsoft Word document with links and small text pieces that will educate employees. And we have essentially a content calendar for our clients so that across their launch period time, we can send out nudges of new information, why it's important, how we can get it going. I think also if you have a group that is, lack of a better term, kind of clicky and younger and all new, we can do a separate training there. Really allow them to be a little bit more comfortable with the Icon team, ask questions, get some of those maybe more senior folks out of the room so that the younger folks feel a little more comfortable with asking questions, because oftentimes they'll be in a different financial state too, and they'll have some camaraderie around that. And then if they all get going and get the conversation started on like, hey, we're just saving $50 a month, right? So
That's great. I really love that approach. You're giving me some ideas for marketing.
take them.
Okay, I think we have time for one last question here. So how do you see benefits evolving in the cannabis space over the next couple of years?
Oh, that's a good question. Is this for both of us?
Yeah.
I want to attack it first. And the reason why I want to attack it is what I've seen is that I think affordability is a huge thing. And I think a lot of companies are looking at how do we make this simple and easy for cannabis entrepreneurs specifically on making it affordable. You know, like starting up a company, if you're in a new market or you're in an existing market, it's just you either don't know how much money you're going to make because you're just opening up, or profit margins are thin and you have no clue how you're going to make it happen. And I think a lot of companies are starting to recognize that, and you're probably going to start seeing company like Icon Savings is a great example of literally providing affordable retirement registered plans, you know? And so I think you're going to start seeing companies come in and care more. And I think also it's going to be like an expectation of employees for employers to provide that.
I'd agree with that. I think also we're going to see consolidation of the technology providers that are in the benefits space to connect around. There's basically a hub and spoke model with payroll at the core. What's really cool, and you taught me this 2 weeks ago, was that you guys actually integrate with that POS system. And so the idea of having one technology vendor to cover everything you need for all of your employees, connect it to sales, get the data in a central system so you know how many people to have on staff, what benefits to offer to them, or the people that will be working for you, making sure that they have the right proper support so that they are providing great, excellent customer service, and then see how that connects into the sales systems for the day. Some exciting stuff coming. So
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, guys. That's all the time we have for today. But thank you both, John and Yonel, for your insights. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We will see you next time.
thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.